I want to share this. Maybe it'll help someone. I was 14 when I first believed love was something you had to earn. That belief changed everything about me, just not in the way I hoped. I'm 35 now, but sometimes, when I fall asleep, I'm still back there in the school hallway, clutching a notebook, heart pounding like it's trying to escape, and she's walking toward me. And my whole brain is screaming, just say something. Anything. I didn't. And not just with her. With others too. Different girl, different place, same silence. Same paralyzing fear. I wasn't ugly. But I wasn't anything special either. No spark. No edge. Just a regular kid who wanted someone to look at him and see more than a quiet guy in the second row. And rejection? It didn't crush me all at once. It dripped into me. Like rust. Silent and slow. I started thinking if I make money, they'll want me. Then it was, maybe it's how I look. So I hit the gym. Got strong, lean. People noticed. I looked better than ever. But the fear? Still there. I couldn't talk to a girl if I actually liked her. I'd freeze. I kept it hidden. Because in a guy's world, you don't say stuff like that. It's weakness. And in a girl's world, it's boring. Everyone wants confidence. Charisma. Stories. I had none. Just a growing shame I couldn't put into words. Then one day, a friend gave me this challenge. Go on 10 dates. No pressure. No goal. Just talk. Just be there. 10 times. That's it. I argued. Told him that's not how it works. But he pushed. Just do it, he said. Then let's talk. So I did. That first date? It was surprisingly good. I laughed. Like, really laughed. With someone who wasn't judging, wasn't rushing, wasn't expecting anything. I met up with my friend afterward. Told him how it went. And he said, okay. Now go on the other 9. I rolled my eyes, but I went. Every date I went on. It wasn't about the girl in front of me. It was about the boy inside me and the fear he carried for decades. I remember the second date clearly. We grabbed coffee, and she talked about her job, her annoying boss, office politics. I barely said anything, just listened. But somewhere between her story and her laugh, I realized I wasn't scared. I was just there calm, present. The third date was wild. This girl had a neck tattoo and the loudest laugh I'd ever heard. But with her, I felt free. I dropped a spoon, made a dumb joke, and it didn't matter. I didn't want to impress. I just wanted to exist. But the fourth one? That one hit different. She reminded me of the first girl I ever crushed on. Same voice. Same kind of eyes. And the minute she smiled, my chest tightened. Like I was 14 again, sweaty hands, frozen tongue. I sat there, pretending to be fine, but inside, I was spiraling. I went home that night and stared at the ceiling for hours. 5th date. 6th. 7th. One didn't even show. Another spent the whole time texting someone else. But with each one, something inside me cracked open. I started realizing. The real fear isn't being rejected. It's never giving yourself permission to even try. After the 8th date, I randomly struck up a conversation with a girl at a coffee shop. No game plan. No overthinking. Just a real moment. And she smiled. Said something back. And guess what? The world didn't end. Then came date 9. She was into movies. I talked about my childhood. We didn't click. But I didn't panic. I wasn't crushed. I didn't feel like I failed. I felt grateful. Grateful that I could just sit there and be myself. Without shame. Without armor. The 10th date? I wish I could tell you she was the one. that everything changed, that it was some perfect rom-com ending. But no, she wasn't. It wasn't. But something had changed. I wasn't scared anymore. Nothing magical happened after date number 10. But something better did. I finally showed up. Fully. Without fear of not being chosen. It didn't hit me all at once. I just woke up one morning and realized. I wasn't checking my phone, hoping someone texted. I wasn't rehearsing conversations in my head. I wasn't obsessing over what I looked like or what I'd say. I was just living. One evening, I was sitting alone in the park, sipping coffee, not expecting anything. A girl with a book sat on the same bench. We smiled at each other. She said, "It's always peaceful here when the wind's up." I said, "Yeah, like the city pauses for a second." We talked for nearly an hour. No flirting. No expectations. I wasn't trying to impress her. I was just me. And it felt safe. We started seeing each other. First by accident. Then on purpose. She didn't know what I'd been through. And I didn't rush to tell her. Because for the first time, I didn't want to hide behind my pain. One day, she asked me, "Why do you sometimes look like you're afraid to speak?" I hesitated. But then I told her that I used to think I wasn't enough. That every time I got close to someone, I felt like I was about to get crushed again. That I was learning how to not be scared of myself. She didn't interrupt. She didn't laugh. She just held my hand. And you know what? She didn't need to say anything. The silence between us didn't feel like a threat anymore. It felt like a home. We didn't label things right away. No declarations. No pressure. But I wasn't searching anymore. I wasn't chasing validation. I had finally learned how to show up. I thought that once the fear was gone, everything would get easier. But the truth? Real closeness begins where vulnerability shows up. And honestly, that's scarier than any first date. We started seeing each other more. There were no labels, no pressure. Just this quiet, daily decision. I choose you today. No promises. No fear that it might end tomorrow. Then one night, sitting on my couch, she said something I didn't expect. "I'm scared you'll leave, once you see all of me." I laughed. Softly. Not because it was funny, but because I knew that fear. It was mine for so many years. And I told her, for most of my life, I was terrified people would run once they saw the real me. But now, for the first time, I'm not running, even when I'm scared. She looked at me like she was seeing me for the first time. Then it happened. I got a job offer. A really good one. Different city. Different life. Everything I used to dream about. And I didn't tell her right away. Not because I didn't trust her. Because I didn't trust me. That old voice came back. The one that said, "You'll lose yourself again." But I didn't want to choose safety over truth. Not anymore. So I told her. No pitch. No, come with me or don't. Just honesty. She looked at me, calm, and asked, "Do you want me to come with you?" I didn't answer right away, because the question wasn't really about her. It was about me. Am I ready to bring this new version of myself, the real one, into a future that's unknown, that might hurt? And my answer was yes. So we went. Not like some fairy tale couple with matching sweaters and Instagram posts. We went like two people who made a choice. Not out of loneliness, but because we were ready to walk into the unknown together. This wasn't the story where he healed and everything became perfect. This was the story where he healed and life asked him harder questions. And for the first time, he didn't run. I don't want to sound like the hero of this story, because I wasn't. I just learned how to stay, even when it was easier to run, especially then, We moved. Everything felt unfamiliar. New streets, new coffee shops, new people. But for the first time in my life, I didn't feel like I had anything to prove. I already proved it to myself. We fought sometimes. We had days of silence, nights where the air between us was heavy, but something had changed. I didn't avoid hard conversations anymore. I didn't hide behind sarcasm or drown myself in work. I didn't sprint to the gym the second things got emotional. I stayed. I listened. And slowly, I learned how to speak, really speak. Not to fix, not to impress, just to be real. To hold space when she was unraveling, without trying to glue her back together. One night we sat in silence. She had tears in her eyes, but didn't speak. The old me would have panicked, throwing out questions, trying to fix it. But this time, I just stayed close. Quiet. Later, she whispered, "Thank you for not running." That's when I understood. This is love. Not the kind in movies. The kind that holds you even when you're breaking. I'm 35 now. And yeah, I have a home. Not just a roof. Not just walls. A home inside myself. And in the person who chose to stay. I think about that 14-year-old version of me all the time. That kid in the hallway, palms sweating, heart racing. Sometimes I wish I could go back, stand next to him and say, "You're not broken. You're just not done yet." But maybe it's better he didn't know. Maybe that's how he became me. And you know how that night ended? The one where I knew, for real, that I was finally ready? We didn't say much. We just held each other. And she said, "I can tell you've come a long way to get here. I see it." And I said, "Yeah." And I'd walk it all again, if it still led to you.